All right, Shalom. I want to first start off giving our praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto our apostles and the men that taught them, the elder high priests, as well as the elder bishops and the elders at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings unto the 144,000 and the rest of the elect of the nation of Israel. This is the brother Abadia from the GMS Houston camp. And this is going to be a basic lesson, like a Hebrew 101. These Christians do not understand the scriptures, okay? They don't understand that there's two different types of Gentiles, okay? But, as we know, these Christians are not studious, okay? They don't read, and they have poor reading comprehension. Most of them, all right? And then you even have Israelite groups like the Genesis, all right? Or whatever their new name is. I don't know if they got a new name. They're going off big time and teaching that, salvation is also for the Gentiles. And one thing that, Christians nor that group or any other group that believes, salvation is for the Gentiles, especially when you read in the New Testament. It's if you don't have the understanding um, of Gentiles, that there's two different types of Gentiles, all right, then you have to be taught by the men of the Lord, and you can get the understanding. It's not hard, but even if, because we've been teaching, starting with our apostles and elder bishops on down, we've been teaching on this particular topic and others. Everything's been covered, and if you haven't got it, then it's not looking good for you, meaning got the understanding of what this whole Gentile subject concerning salvation is dealing with, and it's dealing with the Israelites. So I got three scriptures, okay, that I want to go into, basic scriptures that show that there's two types of Gentiles. The Gentiles that are allotted for salvation that you read all through the New Testament, especially when you get to the Apostle Paul, his epistles. Those are Israelites, okay, that were in a Gentile state of mind, meaning following the customs and practices primarily of the Greeks and speaking a Greek language. They heard the word, but they were Israelites by nationality. And when they heard the word, they believed, and then started coming up out of that Gentile mindset. Okay, so let's start right here. John, and this is going to be quick. John 7:35, it says, well, I started at 34. It says, ye shall seek me, and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come. Then said the Jews amongst themselves, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed? The dispersed, it says, will he go unto the dispersed, diaspora in the Greek, okay, among the Gentiles, the dispersed. Who are the dispersed among the Gentiles? The Israelites. All right, Deuteronomy 28 and 64. The scriptures say that the scriptures say in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter at the first verse, Or at the 14th verse. If we don't keep all the law, statutes, and commandments, then all these different curses were going to come upon us. One major curse that came upon us in the 68th verse of Deuteronomy 28 is that we would be scattered across the four corners of the earth, all right, worshiping other gods of wood and stone, all right? So that's the disperse. Among the Gentiles, see, the disperse among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles. So this last Gentiles, right before the question mark, okay, is talking about those dispersed. Those dispersed among the Gentiles, and they follow carrying themselves, starting with how they think, as Gentiles. Okay? And they believe that they were Greeks. You know, after I gotta do the math. What, about 300 plus years of the Greek culture being forced on them, you know, and starting with sellouts and ones that just, you know, bow down to the Greeks, namely Antiochus Epiphanes. So this verse right here, definitely, if you can't see that this verse is expressing that there's two different types of Gentiles, then your reading comprehension is very poor. Now from here I want to go to where am I at? In the Apocrypha, First Maccabees. Damn. First Maccabees chapter 1. Start at verse 11. I'm going to run through this quick. It says, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathens. See, these are Israelites, as we read in the 11th verse, wicked Israelites. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathens, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. You see? So they started, this is the beginning of Jake starting to follow after the practices of the heathens. In this case is the Greeks. Okay? And this went on for hundreds of years before our Lord Yahushua came on the scene. So you had a large number of Israelites, all right, really from the southern kingdom, that had lost their identity. Okay? And this show you right here that Israelites can be Gentiles when they are in a Gentile state of mind. Meaning what? There's two different types of Gentiles. Okay? I'm going to end this lesson with this verse right here. 1 Corinthians 12, 1, the point is in 2. It says, now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren. So the Apostle Paul is calling them brethren. And who is his brethren? Romans the 9th chapter. Starting at the first verse, reading all the way through the 4th verse. It clearly tells you that his brethren and his kinsmen according to the flesh are Israelites. Okay? I would not have you ignorant. You know that you were Gentiles, carried away onto these dumb idols, even as you were led. Yeah, if you're a natural Gentile, because that's one type of a Gentile, meaning the other nations, a non-Israelite, you're always going to be a Gentile. You can't, be a Gentile and then get out of the state of being a Gentile unless you're the other type of a Gentile, which is a Israelite foreigner believing that you're another nation. In this case, it's the Greeks, believing that you're a Greek, speaking Greek, practicing all those different customs. So this is what the Apostle Paul was saying. You were Gentiles, meaning you were in a Gentile state of mind. You lived like the Gentiles live, okay? Worshiping those different idols, which comes with practices and customs, okay? So, that's pretty much it. Something basic. There's two different types of Gentiles, and you Christians don't understand that. And you're not going to get it, but that's all right. That's how that's how it's supposed to be. The bulk of our people are not going to get these, understand these scriptures. You Edomites definitely are not going to understand them, okay? So, Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm going to stop right here. And until the next one, I say shalom.